think so. I think he just nailed it. Yeah.
How ready does Waller look?
Well, I think he looks, firmly ready to contribute, which is why he's, going to play in the game. How comfortable does he feel? Ask him. If you ask him in the first quarter, it'll probably be different than the third. There's always stuff that game process always feels new every season. But I think one of the conversations he has with teammates is I think the same rep happened to Bradley Chubb. I think before game one, Bradley Chubb's last game was a week before Darren's last game. So that he looks ready, he feels ready. There's going to be those game day jitters that everyone loves as a player, and I'm sure he'll be very fired up to get the first rep out of the way and so on and so forth. So looks good, and excited to have him up.
Has the decision been made at right guard between Keon Smith and Daniel Brunskill, or where do things stand there?
We've had a good work week, and there has been competition, and you'll after today and on Monday night you'll find out who was the leader in the clubhouse to start the game.
Has Cole Strange done enough to inject himself into a competition for playing time?
A strange question. No, he's really attacked the technique and fundamentals that we use, and he's made himself part of the crew just by his buy-in and bold attack at the things that we do. So he's had a good week.
Mike, how do you see team morale right now as you guys get ready for Monday?
I think team morale is very hungry to play this next game. We had 3 games in 11 days, and it'll be 11 days since our last game. So that there's been a lot of concrete focus on our game, and we had a great team meeting today, and had a great week of practice. Guys are focused on unequivocally, I think they're focused on 11 players playing as one and going 1-0 this week. And that when you focus on that, which is what you have to do in the National Football League, morale is pretty high because your collective focus is going in one direction. So that's what they're worried about, and that's what I'm worried about. So morale is focused.
Mike, how have you seen Ollie Gordon attack the week after being such a big part of the game plan on last Thursday?
You're pretty focused on guys that have their first taste of success, just to see how they respond. Just like you're focused on someone that maybe had some plays that they want back, and I think he's proven to his teammates that he sees or he understands what the responsibility is as a NFL player, as a rookie. So he has responded the exact way I'd want him to, which is nothing. It hasn't really changed him. He has confidence in what he's doing. He always has, and each week and every practice, he gets more ownership of the entirety of the offense. So I've been happy with where he's been at, because he's focused on getting better.
Coach, you're looking at Garrett Wilson's numbers, 30 targets this year, about 75 yards per game. When you watch the tape, it's mostly against bracket and double coverage. I'm curious how that changes the math defensively when you have a player that can so often beat double coverage.
So it changes the math in that your double coverage, if you're taking 2 players to cover 1, it leaves you light in the run and light on everybody else. So you do that in situations, and whether it's the time of the game or where it is in the game when you think he's going to get the ball. If the percentages and the play caller's gut feel like it's higher than 50%, you kind of go in that direction. If not, it's 11 people playing together, so there's no such thing as a one-man zone, and unless you're in zero, all man players have help somewhere. So that's what you have to do. Is you really have to. It takes a collection of individuals, and whether it's zone or man, generally you have to be in concert with someone else. And if you have no help, your help is pass rush, and so you have to cover as long as the pass rush, as long as it takes for the pass rush to get to the quarterback. So all those things come back to the same common denominator. We have to play football collectively together, and understand that there is no one-man mission to stop a guy. And generally, if someone's covering him and he gets a target, it's between the person covering him and the guy that you have help with, whether it's a hole player or another safety or a player deep to short a linebacker as a hole player or a safety as a deep to short player. Regardless, it takes two to tango, and two people to generally occupy that player in zone and man.
Mike, through your career, what qualities do you look for to determine whether a receiver should be on your menu as a runner? Like with Debo, as Kam obviously did it briefly, and now Malik. What qualities do you look for that make a receiver capable of doing that in your mind? And what does Malik have to be able to do that?
So I think the commonality with all of them is that they're a playmaker with the ball in their hands. So that's the starting point, because you're trying to find more ways to get them the ball. And then there's some players that are very good with the ball in their hand that have a unique natural ability to see defenders but press blockers so they can set the blockers up for success. Malik is very adept at feeling zones like a running back and running one gap at a time and making a defense pay. If force isn't there, he'll go outside. If they overrun it, he'll go inside. So, and all those components have to do with who he is as a natural football player, which is inherently tough. You don't take guys that aren't super tough and can avoid major contact by seeing lanes and being efficient with yardage, and that's something that is strong in Malik's game, and we love using him that way.
I wanted to ask you about signaling. Robert Saleh said in a press conference that the Jaguars coach Liam Cohen and people in that coaching tree have an advanced but legal signal stealing system. It's not like college where you're holding cards or you have three guys with the arms. So what might I find interesting about how signals can be stolen, and have you ever felt like the defense somehow knew run pass, like they figured it out?
I've worked with Sean, and I've worked with Saleh. Saleh's my boy. What he's talking about is no huddle stuff, but even though Saleh's my boy, I feel like I'd be better talking about the Dolphins Jets game.
Speaking of
Not to be rude.
Speaking of the Jets, they're also looking for their first win. Is there anything that stood out to you on film that's not giving something away, I guess, for a game plan?
In terms of what specifically, what are you asking?
Like, what have you seen that has them also, as you guys prepare for the game plan for Monday night? Like, what have you seen from them that's been
Okay, so specifically, the kind of connects to the emphasis that I keep saying is they have a very good zone read process and use appropriate plays at good times. Forces 11 people to play as one, so you have to be connected to your teammates in zone read. The biggest thing is it takes advantage of people trying to make plays and forces guys to be unified to really account for the extra gap that the quarterback creates. So with that, you have to be very you have to have a lot of direct communication pre-snap, and guys have to really trust each other so that one guy isn't trying to make every play on the ball. I think they're, from a defensive standpoint, they rally to the ball, bring high energy early in the game, and continue to push effort in waves throughout the course of the game. So, right, wrong, or indifferent, whether you're up a score, down a score, if you allow them to, they make a ton of plays on strain, effort, and they're particularly with their specimens up front, who are very, very adept in the run and pass. So to me, that means it takes collective focus and unified technique and fundamentals. And if you take the foot off the gas, they will make you pay and have the ability to in all three phases.
Coach Weaver was very passionate in his most recent press conference. I don't know if you saw it or read it or heard about it, probably. But what is your personal sense of the tone from the defense this week?
Well, I think it's a good representation of one of the reasons why Anthony Weaver's here. I was very aware of his tonality throughout the week, as we kind of met at the beginning of this. I think we're in day 9 pocket, but we met at the beginning of it, talking about how we can both coach and detail, while also adjusting our play energy and our passion. And so working together through that, fires me up. That is his whatever was hot.
Can you tell us a little bit about, with Justin Fields now being cleared out for concussion protocol, can you tell us a little bit about how difficult it is for you to game plan against somebody who has the arm and they also have the legs and they can make something out of nothing?
It takes a coordinated effort. It really does. He stresses the field from sideline to sideline and with his legs, and doubles down on that with the width and length of the field with his arm talent. So the pass rush has to be connected to coverage. Run fits have to be supremely connected, and you can't forget about all the other players that he's facilitating the ball to while you're doing that. So it's a fun matchup because of his skill set and what he brings to the rest of their offense, and is the challenge that we've been focused on for a while.